Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Cmsc Hkaa Esport Cup 2021. And the first race is due to be under starters orders in just under an hour. And we request you to hang on a little with us, and we'll be back with a live stream in exactly an hour. Thank you. the live stream for the Sri Lanka Hong Kong Esport Cup event. Two ASNs in Asia, namely the Hong Kong Automobile Association and the Ceylon Motorsports Club, partner with each other to bring the first esport event in Asia between these two countries, and we have a lineup of 14 drivers, 7 from Hong Kong and 7 from Sri Lanka. Pardon me if I do pronounce the names wrong. I will try my level best to pronounce these names. Right now you see Kurt Martinstein in the Volkswagen Beetle, Seshan Gunasekara driving a Porsche 911, beautifully appointed car. We've got, I'm trying to understand the names, so you do have to bear with me. Si Yi Chung, also known as Jeffrey, driving the Nissan GTR, beautiful car with the HKAA logo on the side of it. We've got Rise UM driving a Porsche 911 from Sri Lanka. Kushan Piris also driving a Porsche 911 from Sri Lanka. Ashan Silva in the white Porsche 911 seems to be having a bit of trouble finding the track, and as we wait for Ashan, there you have it, he's back on track. Also in the Porsche 911. Next on track is Adam Junaid, also in a Porsche 911. Beautifully colored car. We've got Wong Brian Michael, who's now changed his car to a Nissan GTR. He's also known as BMW. We've got Cars, as he's known on the PSN screen, is Lee King Long. He's driving a Toyota Supra, the GR Supra, which is a very quick car. This car was run in the grand finals of the Gran Turismo Championship. Lovely car, handles beautifully. Sometimes can be a bit of a handful, but he's doing a brilliant job from what I see. We've got Saikia 159, that's his PlayStation name. Wong Kai Hing, he's driving the Viper today, the Dodge Viper. Quite a handful again, but again, as you see, the cars are beautifully branded, all with the Hong Kong AA logo on it. In the pits we have 3 to 4 drivers. When they do come out, we will ride with them. But there you have it. You can see the code name on the PlayStation being called FSR Lambo, and I think I'm trying to understand which car he's driving. I'll come back to you on that one. Yes, I found it. He's actually driving a Lamborghini Huracan. Yes, that's the Lamborghini Huracan. I'm trying to figure it out from the back. We've also got Mevan Pereira. I think Mevan is also driving the Porsche GTR. We've got FSR Bo 93. His actual name in the real world is Lung Yat, and he's also driving the Porsche 911. I think a lot of people here have decided to run the Porsche 911. It looks like the car of choice today. And finally, Wong Brian Michael, who's driving the Corvette as well. So there you have the 14 drivers. My apologies if I did pronounce your names wrong. But the man of the hour at the moment, who's got the fastest time today, is Lung Yat, also known as Sunny. He's set a time of 2 minutes 17 seconds .125. These cars all running at the Spa circuit, Spa-Francorchamps, as everybody calls it. It's an F1 circuit, as everyone knows. This is 7 kilometers and a mammoth 20 turns. You've got an elevation change happening all right around the track. The circuit really does test your level of skill. As you can see, Kurt Martinstein there running extremely wide, trying to keep the car, the four wheels, on the black part of the circuit. As you see, Kurt now reducing his speed to get into another quick lap. With Seshan Gunasekara, who's also set a decent time, car wiggling about a bit. But as I say, cometh the hour, cometh the man. The guy who's leading the pack is Lung Yat. be back. The technical team doing a couple of changes to the appearance of the screen, and press control informs me that we will be coming back in 2 minutes with the qualifying for the first race. 2 minutes more to qualifying, as race control informs the drivers. All these drivers are on a comm set with all the drivers are being monitored by race control to ensure that there's decent racing all round. As we watch Adam Junaid being hassled by Lee Kin Long, and he seems to have got the better of Adam, and right behind Adam, or he's been taken as well by will start qualifying in exactly 30 seconds. We wish all the competitors all the very best. This is the first time that we've seen these cars out on circuit together. As you see, qualifying is just about to start, as race control now ensures that all the drivers are there. We've got a total of 14 drivers. 14 drivers today, I'm being told by race control. And the qualifier has just been started. As you see the screen now emerging, the qualifier for the first ever Cmsc Hkaa Gran Turismo Cup. First event between two ASNs, as all the drivers are in the pits and they are leaving. Got one car having a problem. I'm sure there seems to be a problem with one of the drivers. Cars are out now. We're going to lose one of the drivers, I think, as Sashank Gunasekara unfortunately has an issue with the car. Race control informs us that Sashank Gunasekara will not be able to take part, as there seems to be a slight glitch in his system. It's unfortunate that we lose Sashan in this race. He seems to have a problem with his internet. The difference of these things is that unlike in the real world, there are problems with drivers who do have slightly below the requirement of internet. We ride on board now with Adam. He's being followed by Mevan Pereira, and from what I'm made to understand, the first driver to be a part of the qualifying is first driver who will pass the start finish line will be Adam Junaid, and he's closely being followed by Mevan Pereira. So, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for the slight mix up in the commentary as well. We were trying to figure out from race control what had gone wrong with Seshan. We were on comms with him, and it looks like he did have an issue with the internet. It's unfortunate that we lose Seshan at this point. And we'll ride on board with Rise. We'll ride on board with Rise Uwem. as Rise Wim now in his beautifully appointed Porsche 911. It's a lovely car, as we'll ride on board with Rise as he comes down the Camel Straight. Long straight and hard braking into second gear, I presume. Yes, second gear, as he takes the right hander into Lecombs. The turn 8 is a slight right hander. Into the next one is a nice short straight, and you go all the way around into a 180-degree turn downhill. The balance of the car will change here as it goes around onto the short straight again into Pohon. It's the 12th corner on the circuit. It's a short straight again into another left-hander, and the legendary 13th corner at Spa, which is a tight right-hander. You brake really late and you go. It's a long right-hander into the short left-hander, and you come down to Campus now. It's just about there at Campus as he turns into Campus, making sure the car is touching the apexes, and now he will start throttling through Combe into the slight left-hander. You don't really turn, you don't lift off, it's flat out into, that is Bronchimo, and the long straight now with a little kink as he would brake hard into the chicane just about now. That's 19, and turn 20, that's 19 over there, turn 20, and the first time set by Adam Junaid is 2 minutes 19.037 as Rise UM clocks a time of 2:18.513. We will ride on board with one of the first of the Hong Kong drivers, and this is let me figure the name out. Yes, this is Wong Brian Michael, as we ride on board with him. Beautiful car, quite a handful to handle. It's a Corvette, as he now negotiates. He's the first of the drivers. We'll do an in-car shot to show you exactly what it looks like from inside. As you can see, his hands moving. It's an amazing thing how digital motorsport has moved into a different era. Very clean run there. Keeps on third gear into fourth gear, maybe into fifth. No, he doesn't. Back into third, maybe second. Yes, second with the right-hander. As Kushan Piris now has set a time of 2:18.518. And there you see him turning into the right-hander. Another right-hander coming up. Michael here. Beautiful line there as Michael goes along there. And a long straight now back into Bronchimo. And we will ride back on board with Lung Chi Chong, who's better known as Lamborghini here in the Lamborghini Huracan. Not too sure why they're fighting each other in this time of qualifying, but you see they've all gone into the pits. From what I see, they'll get some fresh rubber and come back. They've all got just about 35% of fuel on board. We'll stay with the Lambo there to see exactly what a pit stop does look like. Lung Chi Chung is the first of our pit stops which is coming up. I think Adam too has come in for a pit stop. As you see, he may take a set of tires. I don't think he'll refuel. He may want to keep the car as light as he possibly can. And there you see he's managed to get out there 3 cars from Hong Kong, namely Lung Chi Chung, as he goes out there, followed right behind him by Brian Michael Wong in the Corvette, and closely behind him is our boss man here, and that is Shao Ting Ho in the Nissan GTR. Again, my apologies for my pronunciation of these names. I'm still trying to understand the sounds. But you see all these cars, they look really beautiful. If you take an aerial view of the three cars, they've all been instructed, I presume, to have the cars in black and yellow, which are the colors of the Hong Kong AA, our ASN in Hong Kong. We'll ride back with the Corvette as well, on board with Wong Kai Hin, better known as Jonathan. Beautifully branded. He's managed to get the two stripes on the bonnet as well, and they keep the cars nicely on track to making sure that the apexes are touched. In fifth gear now. That's a mammoth 179 kilometers an hour. There you see the car twitching slightly, but you have it. But you'll see right behind him cars. That's Lee Kin Long in the Toyota Supra catching him, reducing the gap. He might also have the advantage of a tow, and comes into a hard braking right-hander there, into the left-hander, downshift one gear, and he'll be throttling it through as he will power it right along that way. Car in the front trying to get away from him, but he has the car nicely within himself. This Viper is a handful, and Wong Kai Hin is making sure that the car is pointing in the right direction into the long Bolshemo straight, and brakes hard into the chicane, turn 19, as all of us know. And that was sad, as cars right around there just ran a little too wide. Lee Kin Long ran the car slightly too wide as he gets the checkered flag. We are in the twilight minutes of the timing, and you'll see that he set a time which is a phenomenal time there. Wong Kai Hin managed to get a time of 2 minutes 2:72. That's a phenomenal time in that monster of a car. He must be a country mile away. Yes, he's 1.7 seconds away from his closest rival, who's the driver who was right behind him. Cars, that's Lee Kin Long in the Toyota Supra. And ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a little bit of insight, Lee Kin Long ran a little too wide in that last chicane. And trust me, if he had got that corner right, he would have been on the money. He would have been very, very close. I think he lost a bit of time there. And we still have drivers who are on a qualifying lap. We've got Mevan Pereira still on a qualifying lap. He hasn't got the checkered flag as yet. And Mevan trying his level best to get the timings that the two drivers in front of him have got. But from the looks of it, Mevan is almost 2 seconds away from the fast-running Wong Kai Hin, Jonathan. Fabulous timing, and oh my geez, there's another driver. He's got an even faster time. That is Wong Brian Michael, as better known as BMW. He's done 2:14.983. Oh, that's phenomenal, and it's in a Porsche. So goes to show, lets me ride on board with him. These guys are in an absolutely different league. So Wong Brian Michael in the Corvette has got So now under starters orders. We are under starters orders now. The Corvette leads the way into the first corner, and he is closely followed by the Lamborghini. So there they're off. The Lamborghini managed to get the better of the Corvette, and we've got a gaggle of cars there. All the Hong Kong drivers are on the top 7. That's a brilliant bit of driving there from Wong Brian Michael as he leads the way into the Medallion, into the Camel Straight, as these guys are driving in tandem here. Fantastic driving by the Hong Kong drivers, as we see Wong Brian Michael leading the pack all the way and taking the honors all the way, as the 7 drivers they are going off in a train into the sunset, leaving the Sri Lankan 7 drivers to wonder what on earth they did wrong. These guys are phenomenal. They're driving. I have to give them all credit. They're managing to get the slipstream off each other, and they've already got a decent lap of distance between themselves and the Sri Lankan drivers. So there you see, in the lead at the moment is Wong Brian Michael, followed by Wong Kai Hin, and in third place we have Chow Tin Ho. In fourth place we have Si Yu Chong. In fifth place we have Lung Yat, and in sixth place we have Lung Chi Chong, and in fourth place we have cars that is Lee Kin Long. So pardon my pronunciation of the names. I'm still coming to grips with it, but I have to say, within the first lap, the drivers from Hong Kong have pulled almost a 4.5 second lead on the Sri Lankan pack, who are all there together. Different. This is a totally different concept of driving here, and the gap between has moved down to almost 7 seconds between the two sides, and we ride on board back again with the Hong Kong drivers. We still have Wong Brian Michael still in the lead. He's holding them. He's keeping the boys together from Hong Kong. Amazing drive there. And Wong Kai Hin keep making sure that the second place is well and truly covered. He's not too far away. He's only a stone's throw away. There's not much sunlight between the two cars there. 1, 2, 3, 4 are beautifully within 3/10 of each other. There's a bit of a penalty that one of the drivers has incurred, may have run slightly wide there, but you have to give it to these guys. They are taking the fight all the way to the Sri Lankans. There's no real competition between the two teams, but they're trying very hard. Mevan has broken away from the Sri Lankan pack and is trying his level best to give chase to the Hong Kong drivers. Mevan, the fastest of the Sri Lankan crew, but the man of the hour at the moment is Wong Brian Michael, who's at the moment being chased by Wong Kai Hin, and in third place we have Chow Tin Ho in the Nissan GTR. So the cars 1, 2, 3, 4. In fourth place is Si Yu Chung in the GTR. So There you have it, 2 GTRs and the Corvette being chased by the Viper, and behind him are the two GTRs there. As we ride on board again with 6th place Lung Yet, you can see that cars Lee King Long managed to slightly get the better of his countryman, but Mevan Pereira, there you have it. He is now 8.2 seconds away and being chased by Rai Zuem. So this is an absolutely 2 different platforms of driving, I would say. The Sri Lankan boys trying to figure out what exactly hit them, and while the Hong Kong drivers are pretty much annihilating the Sri Lankan team. But yet for all, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, as they say. As you see Brian Michael Wong braking beautifully into those corners and ensuring that car is pointing in the correct direction. The top 4 drivers holding steady all the way, and you can see that there's been a lot of practicing which has been going on, as the 4 top cars, a Corvette, a Viper and 2 GTRs, not really trying to make a huge impression on each other, but amazing driving by these guys. I mean, you have to give it to them. There's no touching, no bumping. The cars are beautifully there, making sure that the turn is perfect, nicely over the curbs, and they're all running racing soft tires, as you can see. A couple of them getting a bit of penalties there, and as the best of the rest from the Sri Lankan team is Mevan Pereira and Kurt Martinstein. They are trying their level best there to hold the pack down, as you find Kushan Piris and Ashan Silva at the back there having a bit of a moment. But we ride on board back again with Wong Brian Michael. Is the no change in position again, as Wong Kai Hin make sure that they don't really do anything crazy. They're all making sure that they're all running at the same timings. But the fastest time achieved so far is by Chow Hin To Ho in the GTR, in the 3rd place GTR. So that's what you have. It's an amazing driving today in the afternoon in Spa-Francorchamps. And the circuit is not really a small circuit, it's a long circuit. It's an 11-lap race, and we see these cars driving in fantastic in tandem. The 5th place and 6th place 2 drivers, Lee Kin Long and Lung Yat, they're not too far away. They are holding the 5th and 6th places beautifully. I wonder where the 7th place driver is. Let's ride on board with the drivers there. It's my fault, my mistake. I'm wrong there. The 2 guys who are in 6th and 7th is Lung Chi Yo Chung, followed very closely by Lung Yat. So that's what you see, the Porsche being chasing down at the moment. The Porsche trying to chase down the better of the Lamborghini, but they're all, as you see, in the same frame. So this is fantastic driving, and we'll ride now with some of the Sri Lankan drivers, give them a little bit of glory as well. 10 seconds adrift from our leader Wong Brian Michael is Mevan Pereira. A rather lonely race. He's 4 seconds away adrift from Lung Yat in the Porsche ahead of him. These guys are trying their level best, as Rai Zuem is being chased by Kurt Martinstein in the Beetle. as we find at the back of the pack, Ashan Silva is chasing, and there you see Rijswem. There's a close battle there as they ride up to Dalion up the Camel Straight. Kurt trying to get the better of Rise staying, keeping the car correctly on the right side of the track. Kurt running around the outside, trying to go around, but I doubt that working. Yes, it has worked for Kurt. Beautiful overtaking maneuver there. There's a little bit of argy-bargy between the two drivers, but the car goes up in the air and lands, but Kurt keeps the car in place. I think he's taken 4 wheels off the circuit and getting a 0.5 penalty for exceeding track limits, as Rise lives to fight another day. And there you see the Porsche trying to get the better of the Beetle. We'll ride on board with Adam Junaid. Adam is 11 years old and is here today being chased by Kushan Piris. Kushan is a real world driver in not only sim racing but in the real world as well, and is trying very hard to get round as he goes off a little. I'm wondering whether there was some contact there, but Kurt, there was a bit of an incident there between Adam and Kushan. I'm sure the stewards are going to look into that one as well, as Kushan has dropped all the way to the back now and is now fighting with Ashan. We'll ride back on board to the top again, as the first of our drivers, first 6 drivers have all come in, 7 drivers. So there's a plan, there's an action plan here. These guys had a plan to make sure that they all drive to a certain plan, as the top 8 drivers have now come into the pits. Kurt Martinstein will lead by default because he has not pitted in, but he will have to pit in at some point of time. I'm wondering whether there was a bit of a change of plan here, but Kurt seems to be keeping the car clearly on track, as Ashan and Kushan are now 2nd and 3rd. These 2 guys are 2 real world drivers, and sometimes it's a little difficult for real world drivers to understand how the digital world works. Ashan, as you see, who's in 3rd, he actually drives a Lamborghini in real life in Italy and in Spa as well. He's taken part, and we'll ride on board again with our 4th place driver. I think Wong Kai Hin has managed to jump Wong Brian Michael in the pits. So wondering whether there was he managed to change his fuel. He changed a little less fuel than the others, and he jumped the place from Wong Brian Michael. So Wong Kai Hin now is in the top of the drivers out of the Hong Kong drivers. As you see, 1, 2 and 3 have not gone into the pits as yet, so when they do have their pit stop and come out, there will be I have a feeling that Wong Kai Hin will be the leader of this race. Now you see Wong Kai Hin has now come up to Ashan Silva, who's in 4th place. Let's see how he's going to manipulate himself. He takes him on the inside, as Ashan really is struggling with his tires as well. And Wong Kai Hin he has now got the better of Ashan. Ashan might do a dive into the pits, as the other 3 drivers, that is BMW, who's Wong Brian Michael, is they all take him at that point. These guys are in a totally different league. I have to admit that Wong Kai Hin and Wong Brian Michael, they're totally in tandem here. Again, the first 4 drivers, the top 2 drivers have changed position, but it'll be interesting to see whether Wong Kai-hin will get away from BMW, which is Wong Brian Michael, and whether he can pull a little bit of leg on that. But don't forget that our man, boss man in the GTR, Chow Tin Ho, is not too far away from Wong Brian Michael. So there you see, right on his tail there is going to be some kind of change. It's going to be in these corners, because these corners are not the place for him to try something. The ideal spot for him to do his overtaking will be in Blanchimont, where there's a long straight, there's quite a bit of toe that he can get, and that is yet to be seen in this race. So again, we have the top 7 drivers again from Hong Kong. All credit to these guys. They are in a totally different league to the Sri Lankan drivers. With due credit to the Sri Lankan drivers, they're trying their level best as well. We'll ride on board back again with Mevan Pereira. Mevan now is 18 seconds away from the leader. That's quite a distance away, but Mevan is trying his level best to be the top of the Sri Lankan leaderboard there. And Mevan is 8 seconds away from Rais UM. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our top driver from Sri Lanka, Mevan Pereira, and he's being followed by Rais UM, who is 8.4 seconds, and Rais is 27 seconds away from Wong Kai-hin. So it's quite interesting to see how this race is panning itself out. As we ride on board again with Adam Junaid. Adam is being caught by Kurt Martinstein. Adam is at the moment the 4th of the Sri Lankan drivers, and Adam holding on that for dear life, as Kurt is all over the place. And Kurt brakes a little later, or tries to brake a little later, but it doesn't really work. He's being very, very cautious with Adam there. Adam trying very hard to make sure that his position is not compromised and his line out of the corner is not compromised. As he goes really hard into the first corner, brakes very deep, turns late, and powers it a little later than the rest. We'll ride back on board with Wong Kai-hin, as is known, Shaika 159. He is 1.1 seconds away from Wong Brian Michael. Wong Brian Michael is managing to keep the 2 GTRs behind him. The covert, a handful, but it's beautifully done in black and yellow. But in the process of this, he's not giving up his fight to the leader, Wong Kai-hin, who is just a little over 1.1 seconds away from the second driver, Wong Brian Michael. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The top 4 drivers all pretty much in tandem with each other. It's an amazing thing to see how good they are, and we might have a change of position there. We might just about see Bossman there, Chow Tin Ho trying his level best. I think he's got the better. Yes, he has got the GTR, has got the better of Wong Brian Michael. And now there's a bit of a sandwich there. As he tries to brake late, he doesn't really make it. But the sandwich is complete now. You've got a GTR, a Corvette, and then another GTR. So that's how you have it there. The second GTR there of Sai Yin Chung in 4th place. I'm sure down the straight these GTRs have a lot of leg there. He might get the toe up the corner as he goes up there into Radallion and then onto the Keppel straight. They just hold it on those curbs as though they were going right straight through it. I mean, phenomenal car control on this one. The GTR not really having close enough, but again you can see he's managed to get the fastest sector there, and as Sai Yu Chung has managed to get the fastest time up to now, 2 minutes 15 seconds and 783 tenths. So that's it. You see it there. As in the second place car of Chow Tin Ho, having a bit of a moment there. Now he is chasing. We've got 2 laps more to go, and the second place GTR is slowly closing the gap on Wong Kai Hin. So Chow Tin Ho is now closing the gap on Wong Kai Hin. It's not over yet. These guys are still battling it out. There must be friends there, but it's going to be interesting to see whether the 4th place GTR on the Blanchimont Straight can get the toe and the overtake. He'll have to make sure that he brakes a little later, but Wong Brian Michael is not going to make it easy, as the GTR has a look on the outside, doesn't really make it a bit too far, but in the process I can see the gap between 1 and 2 has reduced. So there you have it. It's under a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wong Kai Hin being chased now very closely by Chow Tin Ho in the GTR, and evenly placed behind him in the covert is Wong Brian Michael, and right behind him being the 4th place Se Yu Chung. We'll ride on board with the 4th place GTR. We'll see whether he can get the better of it. He's managed to get the fastest, a purple sector again. It's any man can win this today, as the GTR has a look down the inside. The driving precision, you have to say, is fantastic. These guys are in a different league. As he looks again to make sure that he can get down, there's no space there. Wong Brian Michael making sure that the car is beautifully placed there, and he looks down the inside. Wong Brian Michael keeps the car exactly at the right spot, as say Yi Chung. He's trying everything he knows in the little black book that he has, and to get around the covert is not an easy task. Wong Brian Michael led the first bit of this race and has now been relegated to 3rd place. I wonder whether it was whether he was a little tired, or whether the car, or what it was. But whatever said and done, all due credit to these guys. And in the process, you can see our man in 2nd place, Chow Tin Ho, has dropped the gap now to 3 tenths. There you see that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are so close to each other. Anything can happen now. As he rides right across the track, Wong Brian Michael goes a little to the left to make sure that the 4th place car of Chow Tin Ho does not have any space to go around him and not outbrake him as well. So the gap between 1 and 2 is again 3 tenths, and now it's down to 2 tenths. Anything can happen right about now between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we have people who are fighting for all different places on the podium. We're on the final lap as we ride on board with Wong Kai Hin in the Viper. He might have a penalty on that move there. I'm not too sure. Let's wait and see. No, he hasn't. But the 2nd place GTR is trying his level best. And ladies and gentlemen, we might have a change of place. No, momentarily it did. He's not giving up. He's He's trying his level best. Our boss man here, Chow Tin Ho in the GTR. He almost had it in at the end of the Keppel Straight, and it didn't really work. He'll have to think about another corner here. He's got very, very few out of the 20 corners. We've gone down about 13, 12 corners now, and 1, 2, 3, 4, not yet, but very close. I'm wondering whether he has a plan into Bonchimo, as the Viper leads a GTR, the Corbett leads another GTR, and this race has been scintillating for the viewers. They've got it all nailed to the wire. I hope the fuel lasts them. I can see the fuel lights blinking away. It's a long track. It's 7.5 kilometers here. I hope they don't need to coast, or one of them has to coast, which will give the other guy a chance. And the GTR looking down the inside. I can't say which GTR because both GTR drivers are looking down the inside. And this is racing at its best, as you did see a little bit of going there. I think he did it. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Chow Tin Ho in the last lap, coming into the Bonchimo corner, into the chicane. Let's see if he's going to brake late. Wong Kai Hin does a little bit of a late brake. It didn't really work. I hope they didn't touch each other. I'm sure the stewards are watching what's going on here. And the winner of the first race is Chow Tin Ho, followed by Wong Kai Hin, and in third place we have Lung Chi Chung, and in fourth place we have Wong Brian Michael. I'm sure the stewards are going to have a look at that last corner. We will come back to you in half an hour after. We will come back to you in maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes with race 2, which will be in the Styrian Hills in Spa. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are 7 minutes late, but it was it was not easy because we had to get a couple of drivers in. And I have good news for you. We've got the entire cadre except one Sri Lankan driver who had a problem, couldn't take part. And now we've got 13 drivers taking part. It's a reverse grid. And the really good news that in Austria today, there's heavy rain. There's a reverse grid of the top 10 drivers. And by virtue of default or coming in 8th place or 10th place, Kurt Martinstein leads the pack, followed by Rise UM, followed by Mevan Pereira. And then we have Lung Chi Chung. As we will now just see, and now you will see that the race is just about to begin. And we hope and we wish all our drivers from Sri Lanka and Hong Kong a memorable and safe race. So there you see it. All the drivers are lined up. We're watching the cars from the back. I'm sure the race organizers and the race control will ensure that we see the front view as well. Severe rain, 16 laps in the race in Austria. This is better known as the Red Bull Ring. It's a shorter circuit. It's only about 4.3 kilometers, and they're off now. A couple of cars hitting the wall, and all drivers are off now. We have Seshan Piris back as well. Seshan Gunasekara back as well. We had a problem with his internet in the last race, and you see immediately Lung Chi Chung has managed to get 3rd place. Rise UM leading the pack, and Mevan Pereira in 2nd place, followed by Lung Chi Chung. So into these corners, there's a lot of argy-bargy, there's a lot of hitting by the drivers. I'm sure the stewards are going to look into that. There's a couple of racing incidents, I'm sure, as well as these drivers. We ride on board with Wong Kai Hin as they ride into the first corner. Mevan Pereira is just ahead of Lung Chi Chung, and we ride on board with these guys to see exactly who's who. I know that tyre wear will not be a problem in these conditions, but yet for all, we might see them coming in for a pit stop within lap 7 or 8, depending on the fuel that they have burnt. As there you see a dive down the inside by Kushan Piris. Kushan is a Rennmeister in the best of times, and is needling his way through as Adam Junaid is trying desperately to defend his position, but not really making enough progress there, as there was a slight tap there. There was a slight tap there by one of the drivers, and the stewards have taken note of that. Kushan running extremely wide and Adam getting the place back. The reverse grid not really helping some of these drivers. Rise UM still leading the pack. Mevan Pereira has now got the better of Rise UM, and there's been contact again between Adam Junaid and Kushan Piris. I'm not too sure exactly what went wrong, but they both come back on track without losing much ground to each other, and that's a good thing, as Kushan trying his level best to come down the outside. Adam trying to keep the inside, but Adam not really making the corner stick. He needs to learn a little bit of trail braking there, as his father told me a little while ago. But in the process, you see Wong Brian Michael in the Corvette creeping down the inside, and there you see Seshan Gunasekara, beautiful ride down there on Kushan Piris, and Kushan having got the better of him on the switchback. But the bad news is that Wong Brian Michael has come down the inside of Seshan and taken the place back, but Seshan is having none of it. I think the field seems to be falling into place, but right at the top we have Lung Chi Chung, who's managed to steal the lead away from Rise Uem, and right behind him we have Lung Yat, who's come in second place. I'm still trying to understand the names. Do forgive me if I do pronounce these names right, but credit once again to Rise and Mevan, who are trying their level best to anchor themselves on the back of the cars in front of them. The weather seems to have a better understanding for these drivers as well, because they seem to be a little closer. In the previous race, we saw the Hong Kong drivers running away as Mevan Pereira and Rais Uem are managing to stick with Lung Yat. So there you see it. These guys still running parallel. Beautiful driving by the all drivers. It's 5:30 in the evening, I'm told, in the Styrian Mountains, as Rais Uem tries his level best, and unfortunate there, he gets his back out, and that gives the opportunity to Lee Kin Long to come up to the exhaust pipes of Rais Uem. Rais trying very hard, he's running slightly too wide, and that gives Lee Kin Long the option to go down the inside. Rais trying the switchback, not really making it stick, but that Toyota holding stead in front of him, snaking away, all these cars snaking away, and there's a gaggle of cars there right down the inside. The Corvette looking one way, then looking the other, going right around the outside of Rais Uem. That is the Nissan. No, that's not the GTR. That's the Viper. That's the Viper of Wong Kai Hin. And Rais Uem trying everything he knows in the book. I think let's see who breaks early here. Is it going to be Rais, or is it going to be the Viper of Wong Kai Hin? And Rais managing to stay, but Wong Kai taking the longer way around the corner, using the runoff as well. If the game does not give him a penalty, he's done it right. Wong Kai now staying right ahead of Rais Uem. Rais trying to break a little later and not really succeeding. He'll try a switchback, but in these conditions they've got to run quite a bit of traction as well, because otherwise this is not going to work for them. The GTRs catching them now. Seshan Gunasekara, having dropped to 7th place, is now fighting with Bossman Chow Ting Ho, and Chow Ting Ho has got the better of Seshan. Chow going sideways, Seshan coming down the inside on the switchback. 3 cars abreast there, beautiful, all 3 snaking around, and in the melee, Seshan Gunasekara manages to get back to 6th place, going up 2 places. So this is a little bit better than the previous race. There's a little bit more action here, and the Viper and the GTR, the Viper of Wong Kai Singh, and the GTR of Chow Tin Ho, they are fighting tooth and nail here for the places on the podium here. Unfortunately, they are a little bit further down the pecking order, but in the process, our Lamborghini leads the race, driven by Lung Chi Chung. And there you see Lung Chi Chung having a clear track ahead of him. He's got the Porsche 911 of Lung Yat, better known as Sunny, in 2nd place, and he's got a little bit of sunlight, or let me say a little bit of rain of 2 seconds between the two of them. And there you see Rais Uem being now chased by Seshan Gunasekara, and whoa, that was a quick run out of that corner. How on earth did that happen? He just came, oh wow, that car just launched itself out of that corner. The Toyota Supra got the better of those 2 cars and sped away into the sunlight, or into the rain, as one would say. That was really, really fast there. As you see Seshan Gunasekara holding stead there, and you see Seshan and Rais Uem battling it out, and somewhere in the process someone lost a place. I'm not really sure. In the rain I can't really see too clearly, but Seshan and Rise wiggling away there, and right behind them you'll find the Corvette of the Viper of Wong Kai Hin. Wong in third place, waiting to see grab a place there, and as Rise runs slightly too wide there, and that makes it all the more trickier because the rain is not helping. Kushan Piris has dropped to 8th place, and right there Rise Uem keeping the car beautifully on the inside, and the Viper of Wong Kai Hin trying everything in the book. This is not easy for these boys. The weather not really helping, but right up ahead in the Lamborghini, Lung Chi Chung has absolutely no problem. He is way ahead of the rest. These guys 15 seconds away from the lead pack. But again, there can be a difference of the difference is that there is 2 seconds between 1 and 2, as you will see now here, how the race control sees the cars and where they are. It's a totally interesting race here. Absolutely different weather, as our leader in his Lamborghini, Lung Chi Chung, leads the way from the Porsche of Lung Yat. It's about a 2.5 seconds gap between the two, as you now see Wong Kai get the better of Seshan. Seshan also coming back. I mean, the grip levels that the Porsche has around this circuit seems to be a little bit better than the Viper in front, and he nevertheless gets a little bit of breathing space between himself and Seshan, driving very well. He's just 10 years old. The GTR is not really performing to its maximum. They're snaking around. I feel for these two drivers in the two GTRs. They're not really getting the maximum potential out of these cars. Our boss man, Chow Tin Ho in GTR and Se Yu Chung in the second GTR. They're trying very hard. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure whether it's the track, whether it's the weather, or it's the drivers. They were really performing well in the first race, but in this kind of weather, these guys are struggling. The organizers wanted to give a mix of weather, one dry race and one wet race, to make sure that you got the best of both worlds out of these drivers as they brake really, really late. And there you see the Corvette of Wong Brian Michael trying very hard. Is not really. I don't think he's totally used to this kind of weather. As Adam Junaid in 12th place, and Kurt Martinstein. I think Kurt started this race in pole, if I was not mistaken, and maybe Kurt too doesn't really have the knowledge to drive in this kind of weather. And I'm being informed by race control that the Porsche of Lung Yat is slowly making headway, and is catching Lung Chi Yung. I'm really sorry, but some of these names are really alien to me, and I'm finding it difficult. I do apologize if I have pronounced it wrong. Lung Chi Yung in the Lamborghini, who's driving in the lead at the moment. Lung Chi Chung, that's right, Leo as he's better known to all of us. He has a 2.2 second lead, and the Porsche is trying his level best to get the better of him. The Lambo seems to be extremely well balanced for this kind of condition, and there you see the car there, very limited snaking around. We'll ask race control whether we can get the inside view of what it looks like. Oh gosh, the weather is atrocious there. As he comes in there, brakes really late, turns in, gets it into first gear, very early into first gear, I must say, and the car snaking around a little bit, and in the mirror somewhere there you can see the car, the Porsche of Lung Yat, or Sunny as we know him. There you see him, Sunny, what Sunny can see from the back, from behind. But in the process, these two guys have pulled a 10-second gap to Mevan Pereira, who's in third place. So Mevan now is being hassled by cars who's Lee Kin Long in the Toyota Supra. Supra is also quite a handful to drive. It's a rear wheel drive, and oops, there Mevan Pereira gets it very sideways there, sees one side of the track, sees the other side of the track, and that gives the Supra, or driven by Lee Kin Long, a little bit more space to get closer to the Porsche of Mevan. And in the process, you'll see right behind him the wiper of Wong Kai Hin, better known as Jonathan. And our race leaders now are Lung Yat and the Lamborghini of Lung Chi Yung. Let's us see who out of these drivers are going to come out first. Our race leader at the moment via default is Wong Kai Hin. He has not come into pit. And Seshan Gunasekara and Raizwem have also gone all the way down. Let's see exactly what their game plan is. Are they changing tires? I don't think they really need to change tires, as our leader Wong Kai Hin comes in, and they're tanking up their car with fuel as well. I'm not too sure why they are changing tires, because there's not much issue with the tires. Okay, I'm being told we have another driver in race control here, Thiago Pereira, who's also giving us a little bit of a commentary and expert comments on these cars, and he tells us that when the tires do wear, or the wet tires do wear off, they're extremely tough to drive. And there you see Kurt Martinstein being absolutely agricultural with that little Volkswagen Beetle of his. He's had a moment and gone off into the kitty litter, as one would say. And right in front, no such issues for our leader, who's Wong Kai Hin in the wiper. He's got a lead of 8.5 seconds from Seshan Gunasekara. I'm not too sure how much of fuel Seshan has, but Seshan seems to have even tire wear, and he might be able to pull a bit of a blinder on this one. And from what I'm made to understand, Seshan may have the legs to go all the way to the end. Let's see whether he's going to come into the pits. No, he's not. And where about is Rice? Rice, has he also come? Yes, he's got to come into the pits, but Seshan is running a blinder. He might be able to run this all the way, and that's all due credit to the little boy. He is running a totally different strategy, and looks like our race leader Seshan Gunasekara is taking it very, very easy. The Petronas branded car it looks like he's trying his level best to take it all the way to the next 6 laps, and he might be able to pull a blinder on this one. His strategy seems to be very different. And if you look at it from third place, his competition will be third place, the Lamborghini of Lung Chi Chung, and Lung Chi Chung is 7 seconds adrift from Seshan. So credit to Seshan for having tried a different strategy. We wish him all the very best. We hope it works for him. But Lung Chi Chung at the moment seems to be catching Seshan in a totally different time warp. Adam Junaid again in 11th place. Today seems to have been a bad day for him, running the Endurance Labs sponsorship. And I can see at the back of that car, Mevan Pereira. I think something has really gone wrong for Mevan Pereira. I can see the guy coasting along, and Mevan Pereira has made a cardinal error. He's gone into the pits, and I think he has changed his tires to soft tires. He has made one right royal mistake here, and he has to change his tires. He's got to go back there and change his tires back into rains or wets. And Rise Uem has managed to overtake Seshan, but Rise 2 will have to come into the pits very soon. I don't see him be able to run this all the way to the wire. But in the process, our previous leader before the pit stops, Lung Chi Chung, has managed to come within 1.8 seconds of Seshan Gunasekara. Now Seshan, ladies and gentlemen, is a driver who's taken the option of not running the car with a pit stop. So he's got another 5 laps more to go. He's got a bit more than less than half a tank, and we'll wait to see whether he is at least going to make 3rd place. Meanwhile, as you can see, Mevan has now gone back into the pits. He's last. He's managed to go on to racing mediums this time. What on earth is this boy trying to do? I think that he may be having some kind of a communication error with his pits, where there is absolutely no way that you can make the same mistake twice from changing it from soft tires to medium. When he went the previous time, he should have gone into wet tires, but he's obviously gone into the mediums. And in the process, Seshan Gunasekara has yielded his first place to the 2 fast-moving, the Lamborghini of Lung Chi Chung, and the 2nd place Porsche of Leung Yat. So he's running a different strategy. I wonder what the gap between Seshan and Kushan Piris is. Kushan is only a 1.5 seconds, and what really went wrong there? Oh, that was bad luck. That was real bad luck. Leung Yat in the Porsche has made a slight mistake there and gone into the pit wall, and that was a nasty knock there from Kushan Piris into the back of Seshan. Seshan running a different strategy, and Kushan should understand that and go. Kushan, from what I see, is also running without running into the pits. He might need to go into the pits. I think Kushan has underestimated that one there, but unfortunately the Porsche of Seshan is being caught, and that is a bad one. Rise Uem being knocked by the race leader. Rise Uem being knocked by the race leader in the Lamborghini of Lung Chi Chung. That might be taken in for an inquiry. It will be sad to see our race leader getting a penalty, but clearly Rise Uem, who was second, was knocked by the other car, so they will have a look at it and come back. But in the process, I'm not too sure exactly what went wrong, but Rise Uem is second and Kushan Piris is third. Now these guys, I'm not too sure. I think they've all pitted. And they've come into so Rise is coming into the pits now, and that will give the place back to the Porsche of Lung Yat. So Lung Yat now coming into 3rd place, and Kushan Piris very, very close on a 4th. Unfortunately fortunately for Kushan, I'm not too sure which way you look at it, but he is being taken by the Viper. And it's interesting to see because Kushan generally drives the Viper, and Kushan turns in a little late, and all the guys there having an incident there. Kushan managing to, I think Kushan turned in a bit too late, and I think he's come a cropper there. It's no one else to blame but himself. That was an incident there. That is also a bump and a hit by the Viper there. So the Viper of number 99 Viper of Wonky Kai Hin drove into the back of Seshan Gunasekara. I'm sure the stewards will have a look at that as well. Under these conditions, it's if you do tap and you take a place, you either give it back or you will be served a penalty at some point. So you have to make sure that you drive clean, because the stewards are very, very alert to these things. Even in race 1, there were 3 incidents where the stewards did mete out 2 penalties and a warning. And you have to make sure that all these little incidences off track and on track are not happening. As we ride on board again with Lung Chi Chung in the Lamborghini. So Lung Chi Chung in the Lamborghini is now leading the pack, and he is being followed very closely by the Porsche of Lung Yat. And in third place we have Wong Kai Hin in the Viper, and in fourth place we have Wong Brian Michael. Oh, we haven't heard of Wong Brian Michael for a long time, because he in the Corvette is quite close to the Viper. So let's see what these guys are going to be doing. We've also got Seshan in 6th place and Kushan Piris in 7th. So unfortunate for Kushan, he turned in a little too late in that corner and got taken out in turn 1. But all's fair in love and war, as they say, and in motorsport you got to be in the right place at the right time and make sure you don't get into any entanglements with anybody. And as we ride on board with Rise riding a lonely race, he pitted in very, very late, and he's now being hounded by JSR JB, that's Say Yu Chong, better known as Jeffrey, and right behind him is our boss man Chow Tin Ho. We come down to the 13th lap, 14th lap actually. The race leaders have now passed 13th lap, on their 14th lap now, as we still have Lung Chi Chung, who's leading the pack by 10 seconds, and right behind him is the Porsche of Lung Yat. So clearly these guys are used to the rain. They have practiced in this kind of weather as well. As you can see, some of the tail-enders are finding it extremely difficult to keep the car in a straight line. And in third place, about 5 seconds adrift from the Porsche driven by Lung Yat, is Wong Kai Hin in the Viper. And in fourth place we have Kaz, and his name is Lee Kin Long, driving the Supra. So ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the order, we have a Lamborghini being chased by a Porsche, and right behind him a Viper, and in fourth place a Toyota. So we've got a multitude of countries. We've got a Italian car, we've got a US car, we've got a German car, and then we've got a Japanese car. So we've got the top 4 cars from 4 different continents, ideally, racing each other. And the best of the Sri Lankan drivers being Seshan, who's in 6th place. Credit to the little boy that he's made it this far. And Kushan has gone almost up to the wire. He might run out of fuel, but the lights are blinking, and I'm sure Kushan will have to coast. And Rise UM, he has great amount of tires, and maybe Rise might end up in 6th place, because I'm not too sure how much of fuel that Seshan has. We can ask race control how much of fuel. No, Seshan 2 is okay, so the person who's under pressure will be Kushan. And Rise seems to be catching Kushan, but the gap is 6 seconds, and I don't really see it happening right about now, because Kushan 2 is not coasting as yet. The gap is now down to 6.4 seconds. There's no real reduction of the gap. I think Kushan is going to take this all the way, and there's a yellow flag. I wonder who's gone off. Somebody's had a moment there. No, not that we can see, but again right in front on the final lap, our race leader Lung Chi Chung is just about 4 kilometers away from seeing the checkered flag. his light will be blinking for the fuel as well, but he should be okay. He is down into turn. He's not running with any traction either, and he's driving this car in absolute precision. No traction at all. The car is snaking around. Even this guy has a little bit of traction. Not too sure how you figure this one out, but I have these expert comments coming from one of our drivers, Sri Lankan drivers in the race control here, who's telling me that our leader in the Lamborghini has no traction used at all, and you have to give him credit. He's nailed it perfectly. He's got the timing right. He's on the penultimate corner. We see him coming into that last corner here, and there you see the Lamborghini of Lung Chi Chung. You can see the starter with the checkered flag. As he gets the checkered flag, our race leader Lung Chi Chung wins this race from Lung Yat in the Porsche 911. And in third place we have the Viper of Wong Kai Hin. And there's a long gap of 23 seconds all the way down to our fourth place driver Lee Kin Long in this Toyota Supra. So again, the guy's snaking around as he gets it. The best Sri Lankan driver we've seen today, Seshan Gunasekara, comes in 6th place. Kushan Piris in 7th place. Rise Uem in 8th. He just about is going to make it into 8th. And in 9th place is FSR JB, that's Se Yu Chong Jeffrey. In 10th place we have Bossman, which is Chow Ting Ho. And in 11th place, Adam Junaid, as he is quite a bit far, as Adam gets it absolutely sideways. Not too sure whether the checkered flag will be given to him, but we will ride on board nevertheless with the young man of 12 years of age, as Kurt Martinstein has just taken the checkered flag, and we wait for Adam to motor his way down to the final corner. But all credit goes out to Lung Chi Chung of Hong Kong for winning this second race. The overall win will be based on the number of points you have earned, and we'll come back to you with the points table shortly. Thank you very much for watching the CMSC HKAA Esport Cup.